Welcome back. Today we are going to use a new technique called translations to help us move our snippets around. Okay, so the goal of this activity is to get you comfortable moving snippets, moving regions, translating these objects from one place to another. So a translation is a movement of an object in a direction without changing the size or the orientation of the object. So as we move this green thing around, you can see it's exactly the same shape as the gray object, but it's just in a different location. So let's click here and let's click the label. You can see here that what we have is there's a line segment between these 2 points, 0, 0 and AB, and 0, 0 is staying the same, but AB is changing. We're now at 4.15, 2.61. The coordinates you see in the green shape are the x and y distances that the green shape is being translated. So let's say I moved it like this. I'm now moving the green shape about 6 units away from in the x direction from the gray shape, or if I move this up here, I'm moving the green region 4 units up from the gray region. All right, I'm going to turn this one off, and I want to turn on these other ones, which are also kind of cool. You can see that as I drag around this green shape, not only is the center of the shape moving around, but really all parts of this shape are moving around that same amount. So you can see that the center of this region, let me move it over here, 4, 4. The center of the region moved over 4 units and up 4 units, but also every part of the shape moved over 4 units and up 4 units. This is called a translation. All right, let's go to the next one. Leave a couple comments. What did you notice? What did it make you wonder? Okay, so we now move on to the idea of translating a function. So we want to not just move a shape, but we want to move a function over. So let's translate this function first in the x direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our parabola, and we're going to apply a horizontal translation towards the positive x-axis of a distance h. So to do that, every place you see an x, replace it, every place you see an x, replace it by x minus h. Make sure you use your parentheses. Don't forget your parentheses. So if we put the slider in here, you can see we've taken our black shape and we're now moving it to the right and to the left depending on what h is. Here, when h is 2, we've moved this whole black shape over 2 units in the x direction. When h is a negative number, we've moved it to the left. And when h is a positive number, you move it to the right. All right, so now let's practice with the following function. So give it a try and then come back. Okay, so let's turn off these functions. And we'll put this here, this here. Okay, we need to change every x to an x minus h. X minus h minus x minus h. And remember, everything has to be in parentheses. So now, and there's no h that popped up here, but that's because we defined h up here. We can use that same h value to move this function back and forth. That's kind of cool. Okay, so this is how we we translate a curve in the x direction. All right, now let's practice going in the y direction. This is a vertical translation. Careful, vertical ends with AL and not LE. Okay, so we're going to start with our parabola. And to make a vertical translation, you replace every y in our expression by y minus k. Now, this may look different from something you've seen in the past. But if you look at this shows a lot of parallel things with what we did on the previous slide. On the previous slide, we took every x, we replaced it by x minus h. Now we're replacing every y by y minus k. And if we put that slider in here, we now move y up and down. When k is positive, the curve goes up. When k is negative, the curve goes down. All right, let's practice that again. So let's say we have the sine of x. So we want to move this function up and down. So replace every time you see y by y minus k in the expression. Okay, I don't see a y. What's different here from up above? Oh, up above we wrote y equals x squared, and here we forgot the y equals. So we better hit y equals here. That's the same, this is the equation saying this function, whatever you plug in for x, that gives us the y. And now we have the y equals, and we can replace y by y minus k. And again, k is defined up here, so it didn't pop up as a slider. But now we can move our sine function up and down. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, so think about what did we have to do for horizontal translations? What do we have to do for vertical translations? And what types of things are you going to be careful about? What do you have to be careful about when you implement translations on a graph that you want? Okay, now that we've learned to translate both in the horizontal and vertical directions, we can put these ideas together. If we want to take our parabola and move it 2 units to the right and down 3 units, we have to take the x, replace it by x minus 2, right, x minus h, and replace y by y minus negative 3. That goes over 2 units and down 3 units. So what would we want, how would we do this if we wanted to translate our parabola up 1 unit and to the left by 4 units? Think about that. And let's do it now. So we want y to go, so we had y equals x squared. We want the x to not be x minus x itself. We have to do x minus h. And h in this case is 4 units to the left. So you could write x plus 4 if you wanted to, but I like writing x minus negative 4 to help me remember what's happening. So then the y, we want to move it up, so we do y minus 1. And now we've taken our parabola, we've moved over 4 units to the left and up 1 unit. There we go. All right, I'm going to turn these off to go to the next one. Let's put in some sliders. Every translation replaces x by x minus h and y by y minus k. So if we've taken y equals x squared, y becomes y minus k, x becomes x minus h. And now if you look at this, we have these points. We have we can move things in the vertical direction and move things in the horizontal direction. And now here is a pro tip. What we're going to do is we're going to add a point to the vertex of the parabola. I've got this point right here, h comma k, and I'm going to do this label. We can drag this point, and what we can do is we can move this point around, and it's actually updating the h and the k for you. You can see over here that the h and the k are being updated just as you move this point around, and it'll help you be very precise about where you want to put your curve. If we put in some line segments, we can actually see, just like before where we had this pentagon that was moving, what we're actually doing is we're moving all of the points on the curve all at the same time using this translation. Okay, yeah, it's still fun. No matter how many times you do that. And if you want to see how the line segments are created, you can see down here. You can read through that and try that out. Okay, let's practice these skills. So how do you recreate this image? Use your little graphing calculator here to check your solution. And as you're working on this, remember what we did. We had, every time we saw a y, we replaced it by y minus k. Every time we saw an x minus h, we replaced it by, every time we saw an x, we replaced it by x minus h. So try that out. Okay, let's take a quick look at an implicit function. So sometimes you have these shapes like the asteroid, which we learned was this equation here. And we want to move this asteroid 1 unit to the left. So 1 unit to the left is this way, and 1 unit down. So that's -1 in the x direction, -1 in the y direction. And so replacing x by x minus h and y by y minus k allows us to move our asteroid over. We could also put some sliders in. So we replace x by x minus h, y by y minus k, and we can now and create this point, hk. We can now move this point around and put it exactly where we want it. So we might say, hey, this looks kind of cool to put it right here. And what we could do is we would then, if we wanted to keep all of these, we've got the equation for the orange one here. We've got the equation for the black one. Remember to save your information for the green one. In this case, we've got x minus -2.3 to the 2/3 power plus y minus 1.24 to the 2/3 power equals 2 to the 2/3 power. And there, now it's in the right position. We could even move this around and put a 4th one in. All right, we're having a good time. Look at that. Okay, so now it's your turn. Let's create 2 different translates of a circle. Okay, gosh, so maybe we have to go look this up, or maybe you remember this. We need the equation of a circle. The equation of a circle is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. Okay, we'll put a slider here for the radius, and let's figure out what radius we want. Maybe we want this one. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to translate this circle. So to translate, remember, what do we have to do? We have to take x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, replace the x by x minus h, and the y by y minus k. Maybe I'll turn off all these other things up here so since they're a little bit in the way. Turn off this one, turn off this one, turn off this one. But now I can move around my point until it's exactly where I want it to be. I'm gonna move it right here. Okay, so what are my h and my k? I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I actually want h to be 0. I'll put h as 0 and k to be equal to 2. And now my circle is saved. Let me do this again. I'm going to put it right here. All right, where is that one? That looks like it's actually at h is 4 and k is 0.95. 0.95. That doesn't look exactly right. I kind of want y to be equal to 1, and I want my curve to go over. So maybe I make this for 3.9 or 3.8. Ooh, 3.8 is too much. 3.88. Okay, and let me turn off the purple one. Let me turn off this point. No, turn off the purple one. And now I have 3 curves that I'm kind of happy with. All right, so here's how I made this shape with 3 circles. All right, so it doesn't just work with the full functions. Let's now use our restrictions to take a shape and move it multiple times. So what do you do if you want to translate a piece of a function? Well, because of how we've set it up, it's exactly the same thing. So take a look at this function. Here's the floor function. All right, let's put the actual floor function on here just so we remember what that looks like. Remember, that's this infinite staircase. But maybe I don't want the whole staircase. I only want this piece right here, the two black bars. Okay, so now let's take this and we're going to shift it 5 units up and 5 units to the right and 5 units up. Okay, what's the rule? The rule is take every place that you see a y and you replace it by y minus k. Every time you see an x, you replace it by x minus h. But don't forget in the restriction. Actually, let's go back. This isn't exactly the format that we had before. It's a format that works, but let's do it this way just so we're using the same format that we had before. Sorry about that confusion here. We have y is equal to floor of x. X goes from 0 to 2. We replace every y by y minus k, every x by x minus h, and don't forget to do that in the restriction as well. And now we've moved it over a half a unit and up a half a unit. All right, so now let's put some sliders on it. So y minus k is equal to, let me fix this one as well, floor of x minus h, where x minus h is between 0 and 2. And I can now move this. I put a point here, and I can now move it. And maybe I want to move it like this. Okay, so now I have some new points. We need to save these values. So we take our values, and I see I want to save k was 0.3, and h was negative 0.73, and h here is negative 0.73. All right, I'm going to turn off the green one. I'm going to turn off the axes and the grid. And here is the final sketch. All right, one last bit here. We can also do this when we translate our graph that's on its side. So here's a function, x is equal to sine of y. We've taken the role of x and y and interchanged them. Let's shift it 2 units to the right and pi units up. So if I take x and I do x minus 2, that's taking it and moving it over 2 units. And then shifting it pi units up moves this over here. So let's put the sliders in and let's actually see that happen. So let's go back to, let's just start at 0, 0. We're starting at 0, 0. And we want to see how do we get this orange one? Well, h went over to 2. 2. All right, so this is taking the black curve and moving it over 2 units. And k now is going to move that green curve up, and we want to stop right here at not 3.1 but 3.1415, approximately pi. Okay, so let's say we want to do that again. Maybe we move this over 4 units. Let's move this back to 0. Hey, look at this kind of fun shape that's showing up. So let me save that one as well. X minus 4 sine of y minus 0. Let me do one more. I'm going to move now h to 6 and then move that one up here. So k is again pi. And hey, look, we're getting a really fun, funky pattern. So there we go. All right, so which of these do you want to try out? I think you should go try them out and see what you can make. All right, let's stop here. Talk to you soon.